once again, it was Amad who stepped up for them when he needed them to, and he's just that player who can make something happen.
Yeah, one-on-one player, drive, take people on and want to get in behind as well. I think, to be fair, Gyökeres coming on as well, I thought he made a difference. You know, flicks and tricks, he gave confidence, but this is the 1v1s, and this is where I think Viktor's had a real problem. He did get a lucky kind of rebound, but what I like about him, first touch forward, positive, putting the full back on the back foot, and you earn your little bit of luck. You still have to finish it, and he absolutely did. And then from then on, Southampton, as Scholesy mentioned, they're taking their best players off. The confidence had absolutely drained in them. So then it was about, okay, not only is it 1-1, how can you turn this into 3 points? And to be fair, you see me pick the ball up and he went, we are going again. And he dragged them through it.
He drove them forward, didn't he? And then Paul, for the first time, he scored in back-to-back Premier League games.
Yeah, look, he's been Man United's best player for the last few weeks, since Amarim's actually come in. And he was the one player tonight, even in the first half, where you thought something could possibly happen. And he's got on to show that. He's got great ability, can go either way. Again, is he going to be a wing-back? Has he got that right balance to play that position? Would he be more suited to a number 10? I don't know. I think against the better teams defensively especially, it could be a struggle for him. But look, he stepped up when the team needed a win tonight, and he's been the one that will get all the plaudits, and rightly so.
Where does he need to be, Karen, to get the best out of him?
Higher up. You know, this is for me where he is, you know, pressing, getting on the front foot. Look, like I said, it's, you know, Southampton culpable to their own mistakes. We've seen it throughout the whole of the season, and like I mentioned, I think at this point their confidence and their heads had gone, but you have to snap onto it, and Amad was sharp, sensed it, and obviously deserved that goal. But I prefer him higher up. I think he can play inside and outside. Don't think Garnacho can, but I think he can. So go and see what the opposition give you, and then put him in a position where he can hurt you the most. But he's their shining star at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. A hat-trick for Amad in that 3-1 victory. And when we come back after the break, we are there speaking to Emma Dodd, saying that his side for 75 minutes was so good. They needed to be more malicious, Karen, more evil, and suggested that his players were naive at the end.
Yeah, I can't disagree with him, but I also think when you take your two best players off, and I know Diblin was probably injured, I think they missed then an attacking threat and an outlet, which then invites all the pressure on. But it maybe is that grit, that determination, that experience. But like I mentioned before, I think the squad depth isn't good enough. But he would be frustrated, and for 60 minutes they were absolutely outstanding.
They'll be going away feeling like they don't deserve to be on the losing side tonight, and he's clearly not turning it round in terms of results in the Premier League, but you see him starting to turn it round in the performances.
Well, I think that, I know Karen said 60 minutes, I thought it was more like 70-75 minutes. I thought they were really good. They were really good to watch. I thought they were a lot better than Manchester United. I think tactically they're better. I thought technically they're better, which was the most surprising thing. Just the way they passed the ball into people, the way people received the ball. I know Amarim said that himself about his own team. Man United were really poor at that. The side of the defender to pass it on, the weight of pass, the control when it came into Rasmus Højlund was so poor at times. He kept giving it back to them, and Southampton were totally different. They were on a different level to United for a long time, and it just solely because of Amad Diallo that Man United won this game. The rest of the players, long hard look at yourself.
Yeah, well, Rio Ferdinand has tweeted about Amad as well at the end of that game. Look at that. I'm glad this isn't full length from that photograph. He said, what have I just witnessed? Amad rescue job at Old Trafford. Let's go.
I'm still,
You're still stunned at the photograph, Karen, aren't you?
Yeah, go Scholesy.
Absolutely. But yeah,
what are you thinking about, Karen?
Nothing. The last word. I'm moving on quickly.
Yeah, move on.
The last word to Amad, who was the absolute star here tonight. Absolutely brilliant. Well, we're almost done at Old Trafford, but the live sport continues into the night, and Kate Mason is standing by with the cricket.
I think they did a very good job. Southampton creating space between the lines, and then the number 20 with a lot of space behind. We had some difficulties to stop that player, but then when they lose the physicality in the end of the game, in the last 30 minutes, we find the space to use. and then we could change the game. But the feeling is that we have so much to do. I felt the team really tired because Liverpool, Arsenal, 120 minutes, and then it's not just tired the physical part of the player, it's the mental part of the player. So was a win, was good. Let's continue.
And Amad, the talisman again for you, delivering at the end. Just how key was it to get him in those areas where he can do that sort of damage for you?
Even in the first half, every time Amad has the ball, he can push the ball. Sometimes he cannot. He doesn't take one player, but he pushes the other team to the final third inside the box. And that type of players is really important. Like I said, we didn't do a very good game, but in this moment, winning is the most important thing.
I was going to say, Ruben, I felt after the Liverpool game where I think the performance was really good. I sensed after the game a bit of a frustration from you, from where's that been, where's that mentality been? That carried on to last week against Arsenal. I think you've been probably looking for a bit more of that mentality, that strength, that almost, what's the word? Enthusiasm for the game tonight, which wasn't quite there again for 70-75 minutes. And what do you put that down to? Tiredness playing there?
It's not just tired, but playing in this stadium. We lost the last 3 games here, and the pressure is different because we try to press the opponent in build-up, and you can feel it, the difficulties. And then Mateus between the lines and dribbling between the lines with creates a lot of problems, and we have difficulties to press high in the moment. Yeah. This team is not used to do that. And then it seems like lack of enthusiasm. So Ugarte is late, Kobe Mainu is late, Bruno going outside, the ball is inside. And then one transition and Lenny Yoro cannot catch the guy. These small things push the team behind, and then we get nervous without ball. But then when you have one click, one goal, one opportunity, you feel like the team can control better the game. Yeah. So I want to be fair with my players. Today was not a lack of enthusiasm, was a lack of speed, and sometimes lack of control of the game.
I was going to say, yeah, a lot's been made of your philosophy and the 3-4-1-2 system. Players suited to that? And if you haven't, how long do you think it could take to get to that level?
First of all, it's hard. Of course, they are not used to play like that, yeah. Because you have to cover a lot of space, you have to jump, we have to change which player is jumping on the press, and then with the ball today, we saw that we have some patterns when the ball is in the sides of the pitch, but then we lose the duels. It's hard to explain now. We don't have the training, so I cannot tell you that they can do it or not. Yeah. But it's a different system. It's so completely different what they are used to do it. So I don't know how long it's going to take. But the profile sometimes you can understand is not the right ones. But we have to improve players, and we know the situation of the club. You have to continue.
Bruno, you mentioned there obviously the problems, but what did you say to them to solve it then at half time? Because you looked frustrated, the ground was frustrated, and they weren't doing what you wanted to do. So what was you telling them then at half time?
The first thing is more to close the middle and to push the ball outside, because we had a lot of problems, the ball between the lines. And then I told them to in the game of duels, we have to keep the ball. And sometimes you see it, the ball in the Amad or Nu's ball inside, and Rasmus wants to turn the ball. We have to keep the ball because just one connection change side of the game, and the field is open. And then I told them that in this kind of teams that they were pressing man to man, the simple things of good pass and movement, good reception is the key to the simple things is the key to get the chances. I think they improve in the second half.
Ruben, we have to let you go, but thanks so much for coming out to join us.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
A few days then for that young man. He signed a new deal only earlier in the week, and there he is now with the match ball, player of the match as well, unsurprisingly, with that first senior hat-trick. Brilliant evening, but who saw that coming from Manchester United and from Amad Diallo, who toiled for so much of that game against Southampton. He's receiving the raptures of the Manchester United faithful, and well-deserved in the end. I mean, he bailed them out is a bit of an understatement, Owen.
Big time. And he deserves his new deal because he's the one, you know, even you saw in that game against Manchester City, they didn't play great, but Amad showed up right at the end in the big moments. And, you know, he's only 22, but for such a young man, he has a feel for the big moments. I mean, imagine if they would have lost to Southampton today. 82 minutes, they were 1-0 down. And somehow he just grabbed the game. He got the ball and he just kept running at people, committing people. Okay, at times you get a little bit of good fortune, like he did with the little ricochet Walker-Peters, but he makes things happen. Man United fans are used to seeing wingers get on the ball and make things happen, and Amad does that. So credit to him. You know, he's smiling, he's scoring goals. He's just, you got to love watching him.
Yeah, and at 22, to show the composure that he did, you know, because everything was on the line, really, wasn't it, for Manchester United at that point?
He's a confident player, and I think even just listen to his interview, he's got an attitude and a charisma about him that I think is exactly what Man United need a little more of. That's the one we spoke about, the ricochet, but just because he comes in with intensity, it almost helps him get that ricochet. That's the reason it does fall in his favour. And
he's so positive, isn't he, Rachel?
He wants to get at
He's straight at you.
Yeah. And it's a good finish. You know, he knows he's going to probably hit it hard and he keeps it low. Ramsdale tries as quickly as he can to make himself big and, you know, he sneaks it underneath him. But he was the one throughout, you know, he wanted to be the difference and he does it for the team. And I think just the energy he has, you know, bringing the fans involved, and those are the things we saw in the first half, you know, Højlund getting frustrated. You see other players, they throw the arms up, they get annoyed, they try and, you know, shoot from distance when maybe there's a better option. I feel he's the one, although he's young, he feels like he does more things for the team. And you know, that's why I think it's easy to be pleased for him to see him get the 3 goals.
I mean, you'd expect that to come from some of the more senior players, right? Not somebody who's the club is building the future around, essentially, right now.
But you could tell the way